So I said something in the last video that turns out I may have been wrong about. 1 second. That's definitely going to have to go down a little bit. So regarding the video I made last week on this X100F, I made a comment essentially about how I don't believe, or didn't believe, you can truly emulate film on a digital sensor, no matter how good it is. Evidently, I took some photos yesterday down by the beach because I live in a seaside town. And it turns out I'm kind of wrong, mostly wrong. Like, it's still a little bit off, but it's pretty damn close, and it made me see just why people love these Fuji simulations so much. So the shots I'm going to show you now, bear in mind, I have done some horizon straightening and some creative crops, you might say. However, the colors, for the purpose of this video, are completely unedited. So the first one, we've got that X-Pan crop. I just love the simplicity of his composition. They feel so small within that very large scene, but you can kind of see we're getting more of those pastel-y tones that I mentioned in the last video. It's not too oversaturated, because for me, that is the portrait look. I like to overexpose my portrait. Lovely, pastel-y kind of oranges and yellows. The blues are not too overpowering. I think I can make this recipe better with the X-Trans 4 and 5 sensors, but for now, this is what we're stuck with. These next shots were kind of some of my favorites of the day. This sequence, I know this is a recipe video, but let's talk about the photos whilst we go through. I saw 2 lifeguards bombing in, doing some training with their lifeboat, and I was just in the right place, right time. And the skin tones, I think I've got pretty spot on with the color adjustment I made to the white balance. You may disagree, but you can let me know in the comments down below. This one, again, we've gone for the X-Pan kind of crop. I really like the shot. I think there's lots of depth. As we zoom in, you've kind of got the buildings in the foreground, you've got a father and his son in the midground, and in the background, you've got a big shipping container ship, and it just layers through the image lovely. This shot, I love. Old man who had just taken a dump. Moving on, this one, I had it set at around, I think I'd knocked it into about +2, the max you can go on that 100F. And it definitely did blow out the back of his lady, but the color blow out the back of the lady. Well, why don't we jump back over to the kitchen and I'll show you all the settings. Okay, so we're going to come on over here, turn our camera on. It would help if I could turn it the right way. And you just come into your settings menu. And there's edit, save, custom settings. So you're going to come here, mine's in custom 1, and we'll run through all these settings together. Underneath dynamic range, you're going to see DR200. So this essentially is our ISO control. And a lot of people with these portrait recipes, because of the pastels and everything like that, they end up putting dynamic range up to 400, as you can see there. So for me, I set it to 200. That's a medium kind of balance with the ISO. And then from there, we come down and set the film simulation to classic grain. As we progress down again, grain effect, I like it strong because we're going for Portrait 800. If you're on a newer camera, you can set that to weak and strong and big and small. I don't have it on this one. Maybe there's a camera on the way that does, but no comment on that right now. White balance, auto. And as you can see, we've got reds set to 3 and blues to -1. Then if we go down to highlight tone, I have pulled them down to -2, so they are actually being preserved a lot. If we go down to shadow tone, they're actually on +1, which means essentially those shadows are being darkened ever so slightly just to bring that bit of contrast back into the scene, because if it's flat, I think it looks crap. Come down to colour, a lot of people are boosting this to number 4, but to get the pastel tones, I've noticed +2 works a lot better without overly saturating the colours. If you go to sharpness, this is where I kind of align with everybody else on a portrait simulation of such, which is sharpness -4 and noise reduction -4. Obviously on the newer sensors, you may well have the chroma effects and things like that. I can't currently do that, like I say, maybe at some point. Yes, I know I'm doing weird things with my thumbs, but for now, this is for X-Trans III sensors alone, essentially. The last thing to mention, in fairness, is there's a few caveats. I shot all of yesterday with this 1/4 black diffusion mist filter from K&F Concept, so you won't get that blooming effect from the shots like I have. But yeah, let me know what you think. Personally, for me, this is the best portrait recipe I've come across. That sounds really arrogant, I'm realising. And before I forget, hi Mum, welcome back. And let me know down in the comments if you want to see any more of these recipes. I know I mentioned I've got a bit of a gold recipe I'm experimenting with. I'm working on a HP5 Plus recipe, but I'm quite enjoying right now. And I may have something on the way, Fuji related. But we can save that for next time. See you in a bit. Right, that looks better. So I made a... pardon me, sorry.